Alright, hello and welcome back to another V Rising video. It's been a bit of time, I guess it's November now, so the last time that a lot of people were playing was around May when the 1.0 drop came. I beat the game, completed Dracula on Brutal, and then I also gave a little bit of a try to the hardcore mode where if you die you have to start all over again, and that was really fun. I really enjoyed that. But obviously that's for specific server settings. More of a PvE player here than a PvP player, I'll give you that background. I've had a little bit of experience in that, but I'm just going to go over this dev blog today. Because it's the first one in a couple months where they're really talking about future content, which is really exciting. And we're going to see what the pipeline is going to be for V Rising. So this dev blog is titled Whispers of Darkness. So greetings, creatures of the night. We hope you're enjoying the fall season. Looks like with the outcomes of 1.0, we're addressing bugs and stuff. We are preparing for the next major update, which is super exciting. Dark summoning of patch 1.1 has begun. They mentioned that they I can't remember which dev blog it was, but they basically gave us like a little pipeline. Originally was going to be Secrets of Gloomrot would be the first expansion after our early release, and then 1.0 with Dracula, which is what we got in May, and then finally 1.1. So I think they have alluded to the fact that 1.1 will probably be the last expansion. Obviously V Rising has done pretty well, so we'll see. I would love more and more content as time goes by, but I also think that V Rising as a game is sort of coming to its close. I think after a couple more updates, they might have a fully fleshed out game. I think that was the goal with 1.0, but I personally don't think 1.0 is as fleshed out as I would like it to be. From a personal perspective, I'll go a little more in depth on that later in the video as well. But I just think there are certain parts of V Rising that could be worked on a little more, different systems and stuff. So hopefully with this update 1.1, they will address some of those systems. So we'll see what's happening. We've got a photo here of Dracula with his design. Looks here like they're talking about how they want to keep on working on the project, which is super cool. Seems to be a labor of love, and 1.1 is going to be focusing on expanding rather than altering the core experience. So yeah, that's something that I think is going to be really important in the long run. With the game as of right now, I think it just needs to be a little bit bigger. It is pretty big as it is, but there's a couple more core systems I think they could add that would keep it going. But I do think the Dracula as a final boss is really good, so I think as long as they keep that system, it'll have its overall progression. Alright, so taking control, we've received a lot of positive feedback. There's some minor issues we could spend endless hours fighting. Excuse me, I'm just getting over a cold here. So this here is the General Soul Reaper. This was a weapon during, I can't remember if it was 1.0 or Gloomrot, but I think it was one of the first weapons. You would get it from the General Krieg, who at the time was not of the blood, and he now is. He's in the Haunted Mines. So it looks here like they're talking a little bit about items and utilizing this fusion forge. This is the focus here. They want to kind of get rid of some of that randomness, I think, especially from the final area in the ruins of Mortium. You have those Stygian shard farming areas where you farm for purples and oranges. So it looks here like they might be rehashing that system so you can choose more of what you would like. We see here purple axes, and you can choose between whether you want them to be illusion infused or blood infused. A couple different attribute options. Looks like they're doing 3. Obviously this is all up to modification, so they might change things around but we'll see how it comes out in the future. So they're calling it the Fusion Forge right now. I'm curious as to what level this will adjust to certain weapons. Is this going to be something that we'll get like right away, or is this going to be more of an end game forge? Because we do have a number of forges already that they've set up in the game, so I could see this being more of an end game forge. We got some weapons here. I'll really quickly scroll. So the Hand of Winter is a legendary orange mace, and the Endbringers is a legendary gun. And it looks like they want to update the designs. I really like this. I think, in all honesty, all of the orange weapons designs should be changed. Instead of just having like a specific color switch, I think that a different design would work, just because you spend so much time grinding these weapons that getting them is pretty rare. And so I think, like, even like this, for example, they have different names, like the Endbringers. They're not just called like the guns. And so I think it would be really cool if there was a little bit more of a focus on like making them aesthetically a little more pleasing. I think these two are already in the game. I might be wrong, but I don't think the Blood Slashers are called the Blood Slashers right now. I could be wrong about that, but I really like this design. I think this is really cool, and it'd be awesome to don this feature on. Alright, so next on, this is something that people have been talking about for quite a while. It exists in World of Warcraft, this duel system where you can put down a flag and challenge others. I think this is really cool for the option for PvE players to interact with PvP a little more. So hopefully that will be something that they will focus on a little bit. It'd be really cool to just have like servers where they're focusing on dueling and so on forth. Whether it will be a system, it looks like I mentioned here that you will battle each other, and then as soon as the duel is over, you'll go back to full health. I remember in WoW, I think the system was like you would battle each other, and then whoever hits 1 health first would lose. So yeah, this is a great system. One thing I would also really enjoy that people have been talking about wanting in the game is the chessboard chess system. We do have the option in 1.0, they added in chessboards, but you can't actually play chess. And I think just having like events like dueling and chess games as well would kind of like excuse me, kind of like make the game a little more alive, make the castles, you'd have more of an experience wanting to go to someone's castle, look around the castle, duel them, play chess against them, and so on and forth. It would give a bit more of a better experience just overall. They're adding in arenas. This is really intriguing. I think they are alluding here as well that it's going to be a system where you can basically, as you can see in this photo, you can have an entire area for the arenas. So they're building out an arena here. I'm really curious to see how this is going to work. We've got different teams and so on and forth. I don't know, like when they added arenas in WoW, it was a really big deal, and it kind of took PvP to a whole different level. And so I do think that if this system is done well enough, it could actually basically bring in a group of people just to playing like just simply for arenas, rather than just like constantly doing that. That could be a form of end game within itself, and that's one thing a lot of people have complained about in this game, is that the end game isn't really there. It's not super present, and so this could be a system that could kind of reinvent the wheel for end game. Now, I don't think they're planning on adding any like items or anything that you get from arenas necessarily. It looks more just like a system where you're playing for fun, but I think if they added some more incentive to want to do arenas for other options, that'd be really cool, and I think that would really bring the PvP players wanting to just do arenas, not necessarily always be out in the world and battling each other. It looks here like there's a circle system, kind of similar to Dracula, that you take damage if you go outside of, so it's circling you in this little area. I think that's really cool, and that will incentivize people to want to stick to the ring. So it looks here like they want people in PvP, PvE realms to be using it. Less than 1 to 5 players have ever died in PvP, so that's a pretty small number. People are definitely staying safe. Alright, so this is the biggest thing I wanted to talk about. And obviously what I'm most excited about is a new land awaiting. I saw a video recently where they were looking at the map here, and they outlined that right here and right here have been opened up above the Silverlight mines, and so you have access now from Silverlight Hills into the Downleaf Farmlands and into Gloomrot north and south, just by this three-way path. One thing I was a little annoyed about with 1.0 is with the Ruins of Mordium, which, here, I'll pull up the map really quick. So, in the Ruins of Mordium, which is right here, you don't have the ability to actually put plotted land in. And so if they do end up adding an area right here, you would have the ability to put plotted land. That's what they said here. They want us to have the ability to put our castles down in the corner. This looks like this is what is going to be the next form of faction. I was reading online that some people think this might have a connection to the Church of the Damned, because the Church of the Damned is a faction in V Rising. Through some of the boss lore, you find out bosses like Leandra and Cyril and Bane. Those are all Church of the Damned bosses, but there's never really an end game aspect for the Church of the Damned. I think once you beat Cyril, you finish the Church of the Damned, or like that's the strongest member of the Church of the Damned. So it'd be really cool if we get a little bit more of an interaction with some of the higher level Church of the Damned characters, if those are a thing. That's my my guess with this new faction, but I'm not sure. It could also just be something completely different. I'm just guessing that based off of the aesthetic, the purple and necromancer aesthetic that a lot of the Church of the Damned has. So yeah, having like a purple or more of like a shadow cemetery area in the top left corner, I think would be really in theme. But also we do kind of have a little bit of that, so I wonder like what they're gonna go with this top left area. The new, it being connected to the northern Gloomrot, we have a more of a Frankenstein dark steampunk vibe. So if they are to add this top left area, I would hope for it to be something a little different, just so we don't feel like we're going from one place to another place that feel very similar in terms of tone. One thing I would really like, and they don't talk about it in this article, but if this does turn out to be the new endgame area, which I assume it would be, because excuse me, because of the fact that most of the time we spent in Ruins of Mordium for 1.0, I assume that with 1.1 they would want us to spend most of the time in this top left corner area. So I hope that they add a dungeon system. That's something I have been pushing for a little bit here with V Rising for end game content. If they do, this would be the perfect opportunity, given that this might be the last patch. So 1.1, we'd be spending a lot of time up here farming dungeons in end game, and that would really I think create the a little bit more of a progression throughout the game. People wouldn't necessarily want to draw, like for the people who want to finish the game with Dracula, you can still do that, but for people who want to continue on and keep playing the game, you don't necessarily always have to do multiple reruns. You can run dungeons up in this top left corner. I think that would be a really great system. They do allude to the fact that they will have new V-Bloods in this area, each guarding ancient technologies and techniques. Some so powerful we can't reveal them yet. There will be a shard bearer, and then if you endure the ultimate battle, you will claim a new devastating shard and unlock a legendary item recipe. So maybe this means there will be another weapon they'll be introducing in the game. And then also they say securing your place as the undisputed vampire lord. Does this mean this boss, Shardbearer, will be a boss after Dracula? If that is the case, that would be pretty cool. But I could also see it being before. We'll see how they do it. But yeah, as I was mentioning before, I'm really hoping they add this dungeon system. And I don't know if they will, but that's what I'm hoping for. Alright, so I think that's most for this dev blog that has been brought up. I'm really looking forward to getting back into V Rising again. I really enjoyed 1.0, but I think there's still a lot more that they can add, and I really am hoping that they add a dungeon system and then a little bit more interactivity in the game. just to keep people on and playing the game. I know some people out there are like constantly doing reruns and so on and forth. That's just not for me because I don't have the time to be doing that constantly. I will more so always play when a new drop or a new content drop comes, and I think that's for most of the mainstream audience that are playing this game, that's what they're looking for. So hopefully 1.1 will bring some new things in, and then yeah, if they do add this dungeon system I'm talking about, maybe that will change how people see this game, and it'll keep a stronger player base, which at the end of the day, that's something that I feel like Stunlock Studios should strive for, because you don't want people just playing your game and then dropping off of it. But obviously that's up to perspective. Personally though, I would like to be able to play the game more at the end of Endgame. So, alright, I hope you have a great day. Goodbye.